How's it going, everyone? I hope y'all are having a good day. I am having a good day because I got some brand new pops today from Aussie Collectibles. Shout out to them. And I decided to make another Disney Plus series review. I've made a lot of videos lately, and I'm happy to make another one. So today, as you can tell, we will be reviewing Loki. And if for my Instagram followers, I make these. This video will probably be for both YouTube and Instagram, but I will also be unboxing He Who Remains. So yeah, so this review won't be as long because there's one main thing that I think about Loki, but I'll get into it. So my ranking of Loki is a 7.95 out of 10, almost an 8. The main reason I don't have Loki ranked higher, even though it was a phenomenal story, is that I personally feel that Loki was more of a setup series than its own story. This was more to set up variants and Kang the Conqueror than it was to hold its own story. Not that it didn't have its own substance, but to me, the core of Loki was to set up Kang the Conqueror and like variants, like different versions of the same character. So yeah, so Loki, basically, I'll summarize it really quick. So it basically picks up after Endgame, when Iron Man gets slammed by the Hulk, or Hulk opening a door, drops a Tesseract, and Loki picks it up. So that creates a Nexus event. Basically, Loki wasn't supposed to pick up the Tesseract. So the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, who overlooked the timeline, come and they arrest Loki. And he goes on an adventure in the TVA. Basically, he meets a variant of himself named Sylvie, and they group together to take down the TVA, because the TVA lied to people and it took away people's free will, and their main goal is to find out who is behind the TVA and who runs the place. And so, through that adventures, they go to crazy places like Lamentis. They go to the Void at the end of time, where they meet a bunch of different variants of Loki. Alligator Loki, obviously. I have Classic Loki, Classic Loki, Boastful Loki, Kid Loki. They meet a bunch of different Loki variants. And then they, I forgot the word. So, enchants. I couldn't think of the word. It literally left my brain. They enchant Eliath, which is this interdimensional power. And then they find out that the person behind the TVA who's been pruning people and taking away people's free will. By the way, some of this terminology is specific to Loki, so I'm sure people have watched it by now. It's been over a year since it came out, but if you haven't, go watch it. I don't know why you would be 3 minutes into this video if you haven't watched it, but just saying. They find out the person behind the TVA, that being He Who Remains. So, while I'm unboxing this, I'll talk about him. First off, I will say, I'm going to be honest, Jonathan Majors' acting was all over the place as He Who Remains. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't my favorite performance. I really honestly think it could have been better. I understand he's been there for millions of years and still going crazy. But, like, at the same time, I don't know. Not that he's a bad character. I'm not saying he's a bad character. I'm just saying that Jonathan Majors' acting kind of felt a little at times. But that's besides the point, because he is the segue into Kang the Conqueror, and Avengers the Kang Dynasty, and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and all the craziness that's going to come with that. So, basically, what happened is He Who Remains is a variant of Kang the Conqueror. So, the different variants of Kang, all throughout time and universes, basically made contact with each other. They found out about each other's universes, and they made contact. And at first it was, he said, like, narcissistic peace, I like your shoes, I like your hair, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then it basically turned into all blown out war. It turned into full-scale warfare, full-scale chaos. So there's He Who Remains holding the apple that he was eating at the beginning with his suit. Yeah, but basically, all-out multiversal war erupted, and this war created rips and tears in time. And He Who Remains, I don't know if they even share his actual name, But He Who Remains took all those tears in reality and in the multiverse and made Alioth, this monstrous force, basically. And through that, he ended the multiversal war. Now, he never says it discreetly. He never says it, like, plainly. But what I kind of assume is that he used Alioth to trap his variants. So killing him would basically mean killing Alioth, because Alioth is an extension of him or his power. So killing him will release the grip that Alioth has on his variants. That's what I'm kind of assuming, is that he used Alioth to trap his variants. But, yeah, so he organized a sacred timeline and used the TVA to maintain peace so multiversal war wouldn't happen. So in the end, the TVA wasn't really lying about their purpose, but their, like, origin and stuff was kind of shady, and, like, who was running them too was shady. But, yeah, one thing to note, it was super cool when He Who Remains was like, I've been called many things, conqueror, and I was like, let's go! But, yeah, so basically, he says to Loki and Sylvie, who have gotten there at the end of this period, he says, either you two take over the TVA and run it, or you kill me and you unleash my variants. You know, if I'll do this in a post, but if you think I'm evil, well, just wait till you meet my variants. And if you've seen the leaked photo of Jonathan Majors and how buff he is, yeah, Ant-Man and they definitely have to they definitely gotta fear his variants, dude. Holy. But anyway, so Sylvie obviously is driven by revenge, and Loki thinks He Who Remains is telling the truth, which he is. So Loki says, stop, let's think about it. But Sylvie's like, I'm not you, pushes him through a portal and kills him. So then Loki, back at the TVA, is like, oh my gosh, Mobius, another great character, by the way. I love Mobius. Hunter B-15 is good too, and Ravonna. But basically, he pushes him back Sylvie pushes him back, not he pushes him back. She pushes Loki back to the TVA, and he basically finds out that Kang the Conqueror is running the place now, and now he has free reign to travel anywhere, anytime to conquer. So, like I said, that's basically the summary of it, and that's He Who Remains. The segue, the gateway into Kang the Conqueror, is a Kang the Conqueror variant who gets killed and will now unleash multiple Kang the Conqueror variants. So, like I said, my main thing with Loki is it's a really good story. I like the acting, and I like that we're getting different versions of characters, and I like the fact that it takes place in so many unique places. Also, the TVA is one of the best, most beautiful, coolest looking places, in the entire MCU. I love the TVA and how it's presented and how it looks. Oh, visually, it is stunning. But I do like how the story progresses and how it kind of leads up all to that ultimate finale. But, like I said, I feel that Loki is more of a setup for Kang and for the multiverse, and for variants too. Because honestly, at the end of the day, I'm like, this series really didn't accomplish much on its own, but it did set up the future of the MCU, which I'm excited for. Tom Hiddleston's acting too in this was brilliant. Of course, he's awesome. But, like I said, it is, to me, more of a setup series, but that's not bad. And there is a season 2, which I'm looking forward to. But, yeah, I really, really liked, though, what I liked about this series, the things I liked, is I really liked all the performances. Like, classic Loki, with doing this and be like, glorious purpose, ha ha ha. Richard E. Grant is an amazing actor. Everyone's acting was fantastic. You have a freaking alligator Loki. That's so creative. You have, in the void, you have, the Thanos helicopter, the Frog of Thunder. All these things were so cool. It was so awesome to see. But knowing that this is more of a setup series is why I rank it where it is. And I really, honestly, if you haven't noticed, I don't really have as much to say about Loki, because I honestly just think it's a setup series. And I don't think that's bad, though. I don't know, people might be like, oh, so you don't like Loki. No, I like Loki, but but I think it's more of a setup series, and there's nothing wrong with it. Owen Wilson plays Mobius fantastically, by the way. I loved his performance. Just seeing him become friends and, like, his turnaround and, like, his jet ski. So sad. But, yeah, like I said, I really am excited for the future. And I think Season 2 of Loki can hold its own story more and not be as more of a setup as Loki was. But, yeah, if you disagree with me, if you think Loki held its own story more than I do, then that's okay. But that's just my view of it, right? That's just what I think. So, yeah, that's really my Loki review and the unboxing of the 2022 Summer Convention exclusive He Who Remains, the gateway into Kang the Conqueror. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the future, all the new projects that are coming, and a ton of it being set up by Loki. One thing I do wish, too, is that Multiverse of Madness, No Way Home, and Loki were more connected, because that's what it kind of sounded like was going to happen, but it didn't really end up happening like that. But just a small little nitpick. It's not that big of a deal. But, yeah, like I said, my final ranking of Loki is a 7.95 out of 10, because I really like the series, but it was more of a setup. Not bad, just a setup. But, yeah, I can't wait to do my Love and Thunder unboxing. That will be next. That one I will do for both YouTube and Instagram. I'll do a longer one for YouTube and then a shorter one for Instagram. But, yeah, let me know what you guys thought about Loki. I really enjoyed it for what it was, for the setup, and I can't wait for Season 2. I hope that Season 2 holds more of its own story, but not a bad story at all for what it was. And He Who Remains, Beast, can't wait. Excuse me, can't wait for the future of Kang, Jonathan Majors, all that jazz. I'm hyped. All right, everyone, I will see you guys later, and peace out.